in a 4-year quadrennial, they call it the quads, that 4-year span building to the Olympics. During those seasons is the World Tour, which is the international tour. The events are gauged on a 5-star system, 1 through 5, 5 stars being the highest value in terms of earnings and in terms of tour points. So even though we're still 2 years out, it's 2018, and this is a non-world championship year, this is still an important year of strategy, because this is when the teams can start to set themselves up, kind of like a chess game, to strike in 2019 and qualify for the 2020 Olympics.
You know, for so long, the men's side of the game was so deep and like every match was gnarly. And the women's side, like you had to wait till you got to the quarterfinals to really be challenged. But now it's like from the get-go. It's not like the best are better than they've ever been, but the field is deeper. And, you know, the gap between the bottom and the top has shrunk. And now you have so many countries in the conversation. You know, they show up here hungry and honed and ready to go. You know, our game is so much about matchups and momentum. And the German team we played, they're rad. You know, they do things pretty unorthodox to a certain extent. You know, they move the ball around a lot, they shoot, and they're very consistent. So that was a really good challenge for us. And I just think, you know, we're not at the consistency level that we need to be at, that the top teams in the world, top 5 teams in the world are the top because they're very consistent. Even when they go down, it's not down, it's like, and then they go back up. And we're getting there, but we're not there yet.
My goal, it's for sure, I don't like to think like, oh, I want this or that. I really like to think tournament by tournament. I want to be on the top, but it's too hard to be Brazilian sometimes, because even when you are making good results, you are always like, you have to make a better one in the next one, because if not, you go back to the quadricoda. That's stressful. And that's why I just like to think about the next tournament and do my best and try to be on the top teams.
Now I think I'm a better player than I went to the Olympic Games. I know better what I have to do. I study more about the other teams. I study about me, and I pay attention a lot about every point.
You know, before we played Finland, I was getting ready to go up and I see Carol, I'm like, you're my goal. My goal is to meet you in the next round. And then I walked away and we smiled and I went back. I was like, I didn't mean that mean. I didn't mean to be a weirdo or like too intense. She's like, no, I love you. And I was like, ah, good. We understand each other. You know, competitors understand each other's language.
So this match, it's playoffs, so if we lose, we're done.
After knowing her was even more difficult, because she was an amazing player and a great person, and she was like an idol, and that doesn't help me to play against an idol, you know. And I think when you admire a lot someone, when you go play against, you just need to forget all that things. That's how it works for me. I have to do my best and play as I play with anyone else.
It got a little crazy because the lightning happened, and it was so rad to like, because sometimes you're so afraid to be the one to raise your hand because you don't want to be a wussy, you don't want to I don't know, make people do what you're thinking. But it was so nice for all four of us to be in agreement with something so sketchy as lightning is striking and we're still on this court. We're, you know, 3 of the 4 of us are mommies being like, I want to see my kids tomorrow or next week. Like, let's get the hell out of here. And it was...
This is awesome.
You don't want to play with lightning?
Not really. It's not my cup of tea.
There's just a lot of respect between us as teams. I love them. Individually, I have so much respect for them. You know, they're just better than us last night. They came out very strong. I think that we didn't adjust our game plan quick enough in game 1. And we had a lot of chances to score points and we literally converted maybe 1 of them. You know, so if you're getting digs and opportunities but you're not converting them to points, that kind of sucks the life out of you and it gives them life. The newest thing for this partnership is not Nicole and I and how we play, it's where we're at points wise and the emotion behind being behind. You know, after playing in this sport for as long as I have, it's like, F this, I've been here, I don't want to do this again. But then I think of my friend Carol, who has always been one of the top athletes in the world, and she has been playing in country quotas and in qualifiers for most of her career. You know, and that's been her reality, and for me to complain that I have to like work my way back up the ladder, it's nonsense, you know. But that being said, I don't like it, and I've never had to worry about being in this position. Like, I've always had enough points and we've always been consistently winning. So that's a different kind of stress, a different kind of pressure. Ultimately, it'll make us better because we have to be. You know, every match counts so much, and that's a fun thing. It's not a bad thing, you know. That's the way sports are anyway. You know, we play for a championship every weekend. That's a gnarly thing mentally. You know, you look at the NBA and the MLB and they have so many regular season games and then comes playoff, and we have championships every weekend. So it all feels important and it all is important.